Hi, everyone. My name is Two Eagles Marcus. I am the president and publisher of Women's Lifestyle Magazine in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I'm also launching a new title in December called Grand Rapids Minority Business Magazine. So please look at our website and find out more about that. Send me an email and I'll tell you more. Anyways, today I have with me Mel Trombley, Director of Leadership Programs at the Grand Rapids Chamber of Commerce. And we're going to talk about the 31st Annual ATHENA Awards that are on the cover of the September Women's Lifestyle Magazine. And it looks like it's coming out in reverse. I wish I knew how to flip it, but I guess I'm not going to be able to handle that right now.
Wait, I think I'm looking at it correctly.
Okay. So I get the mirror image, but you get it correctly.
Yeah.
And you can read that it says Tasha Blackman, right?
Yes.
The cover features the 31st Annual ATHENA Award winner, President and CEO of Cherry Health, Tasha Blackman. She's an amazing, amazing human, and she's just one of many finalists that I'm excited to be able to put in this edition to show them off, the women leaders in our community. So,
Two Eagles, I want to speak on that. I'm cutting you off already. I'm not great at interviewing. That Women's Lifestyle magazine I've read 3 times. And, I'm more like of a picture person.
Yeah.
Which probably doesn't speak very highly of me. But I thought the content in the article and how you captured like who these women are and these organizations are was just amazing. I was like emailing them quotes about some of the things they said, and it was inspiring and, really called me to action in a few different ways. And so if you get it, I encourage you to read through it, and you'll also receive it in your Pack Elephant box as a gift.
We'll get to that later.
I know, but your team killed it. I'm jumping ahead.
I have a script here, okay?
Okay.
But speaking on that, it's really important to show people in our community what these women, what their thoughts and ideas are when it comes to the ATHENA principles and how they apply it to the community, and why it's important that they're a part of this, and why we have to tell as many people as possible so we can help create that ripple effect and keep that momentum going with other potential leaders that would want to strive to be part of this. So Mel, tell me about what you do at the chamber, and then also what you are all about.
Wow. So I'm the Director of Leadership Programs. So I oversee our leadership programs, Leadership Grand Rapids, Emerging Leaders, Leading Edge, Leadership Advantage, as well as ATHENA, which has been just such a blessing for me personally. This community of leaders just propels people to be better. And then also create support systems, when you're trying to improve and you don't quite make it. And so, that shows up in different forums. We have an ATHENA Action Committee, and despite COVID, we continue to just build momentum. And I think that just speaks a lot about what the women of Grand Rapids are about.
Okay, so tell me, what is ATHENA? How long has it been around, and what is the Action Committee? And tell me how those things impact the community and the business world.
Yeah, so ATHENA actually originated in Lansing by a woman named, Martha Mertz, and she was seeing that often it was men that were on boards and winning awards. And so it really started off as a way to call out and celebrate women that are doing incredible things. Grand Rapids has been around for 31 years, and we actually have one of the flagship programs. We've been featured on ATHENA International a number of times. And so we have a kind of robust lineup of programs, from giving scholarships every year to our ATHENA leadership forums, where we can come together to learn about topics such as fierce advocacy or courageous acts. But I think the important part is this connection and breakout sessions. So you're not going and just learning from someone, but this is like one of the few places in town where it could be the CEO of Priority Health, who's sponsoring our event, 21-year-old first-time professional. And people go to these and realize we have so much to learn together. And I think that is just such an important thing as a female professional.
But also, I think that the visibility is very important, and to have that public recognition, because there is a lot of work to do still when it comes to equity and inclusion in leadership roles of organizations. And we really need to be able to show other people that are professional, and even up and coming professionals, like, you do exist. We value you. Stay in our community. Don't go somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah. And I think so often people move here and it's hard to, especially in COVID, it's hard to build a network. And we've had a couple people that were new to town and at our first virtual forum made friends, and they've done walking visits. And one recently reached out and they did like a lunch with some women. And she said it was kind of a group of friends built in. And so I think that, if we can do that for a few people, I think we're definitely winning.
Yeah, and that just it keeps making it, like the ripple effect. It just keeps adding on to it. And so, I honestly, to me, since coronavirus and the pandemic has happened, I mean, there's been a lot of challenges we've all faced. But one of the things I've noticed is I've been able to connect with people uh, that I probably wouldn't have connected with before, or maybe whether it was because I didn't think to connect with them, or I didn't think I could access them, or they were too busy. But now I think people have more time available to schedule these conversations and get to know other people better. So my networking and connection has actually improved since coronavirus. How about for you?
Intrigued, because I feel like you're the best networked person in Grand Rapids. And so thanks for sharing that. I think we all crave that intimacy. And so for me, yeah, it's actually really interesting. The cutback of events for me, which I love the network circuit and going to all these things, it really forced me to, as a high achiever in my professional life, it really gave me some space to focus on my family and really reset. I've dealt with a variety of mental health struggles. And so this was an opportunity for me to really focus in on what am I doing, what's the impact, and who are the people I'm going to surround myself with that have the same values and passion for community. And it's been, definitely a journey, but it's been really beautiful. And I find I have become friends with so many strong women that I have admired that I never thought I could even email. And so similar to you, I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? I have the time. I wanna get to know this person. I'm gonna reach out and do that. And so it's been an interesting time. For personally, I feel like I've grown a ton in positive ways.
Yeah, I've grown a lot too. And it's really what you're saying with having the more time with your family. I think that uh, it really has not forced us to, but for me, like, driven me to reevaluate my priorities and
Yeah.
what's important. And then, but going back to the networking and in live and in events. I mean, obviously, I was in the same boat. Always, you're going to 5 events a week or however many, and you're always on the go. But I think that the connections that you make at networking events in person, for the most part, are really quick, and they're more of a surface level. Like, you just see the familiar faces, you say hi, you take a photo, and then you're like, well, gotta go. And you like go see whoever the next person is. So it's more of a wide thing, as far
Mhm.
as seeing as many people as you can. But now I'm able to reach out to people, and they have the time to dig deeper, as far as, like, drill down into, like, who they are and, like, what they're doing and what you're doing, and, like, create a deeper connection. So I really changed the way I've reached out to people, or have people reach out to me. I mean, I extend this people. I post my meeting link, and people can schedule with me whenever they want on their own. But I
That's
have it set. I have it set so a window. It's like, you can schedule a 15-minute with me between the hours of, like, noon and 2, and I don't have to be a part of that decision-making process. But if you need a longer time at a different range, then I have to, like, get involved. But it takes out the friction of getting people to set an appointment with you, and they just get to do it on their terms, on their time, and what works for them, and they can see my calendar for like 3 weeks out. So
Because I'm curious, what would be, speaking of Athena, a woman in our community that you would love to connect with and learn with? Do you have kind of, I call it a leadership crush, but do you have a woman that you would be like, oh, I would love to dig in with this person?
Well, I I guess I haven't thought about it much because anybody that I've wanted to connect to, I just connect to and I talk to them, and
Yeah.
I don't typically connect with them. I guess also the way I think now, prior is different than I did before. Before it'd always be kind of this like business reason, but now it's more of like I look at people in the community and I really value what their role has been in leadership, in equity, in welcoming people, welcoming me in an advancement of just like a good community in general. And then I'll just reach out to them and say, hey, I'd like to talk to you about this or whatever it is. And I haven't had any problems, and I really don't think of anybody right now that I've been trying to get to that haven't been able to. But it's like, it's just about capacity, like how much time I have. And
Yeah. I think I need something like your gumption and courage to just reach out to people.
well, see, I know so many amazing leaders when it comes of all genders that I already know them. Like I can just like send them text messages and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" Like we don't even have to get deep. And I know that when it comes to being a person that's in a position of leadership, everybody's trying to access you all the time, whether it's the people that you work with, or it's people that are trying to sell you stuff, or people that are trying to get you to get on a board, or if it is your board and you have 5 boards you have to deal with. It's like when you want to talk to somebody, you just have to send a text message and be like, "Hey, it's Mel. I just wanted to say you're doing a really great job. Keep it up. Talk to you soon. Bye." And like they read it and then they'll be like, "Hey, thanks for thinking of me." Like, I mean, if I get somebody to text me back, first of all, that's the number one thing. I'm like, yes. But if I send it to them, it's too long and they don't say anything, I'm like, oh, too long. They don't have enough time. You know what I mean? So, but
Because
yeah,
it's so funny. After reading The Woman's Lifestyle, I sent text to a couple people like about some of their quotes, and um, I texted Brandy Arnold this big compliment, and she was like, "Who is this?"
well, you always have to put your name after because you don't know if they have you stored.
Look at
You know?
this. I'm like, "Oh, your words so resonate here." I love it. I
I,
know. I
I
this.
always put I either put the eagle, like the emoji eagle, or I put my name just so that because I never know, like I don't assume that they have me still stored or their phone is like
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not as
This is
assumptive
like
as
a
people are
personal
now.
coaching session, two Eagles.
Well, hey, if you want to level up and get on, you want to get on my level of advanced networking, yeah, I'll send you a link for my private group.
Oh,
So now we have 3 categories: Athena Organizational Leadership Award finalists, Athena Leadership Award finalists, and the Athena Young Professional Leadership Award finalists. Can you tell me about the Organizational Leadership Award finalists? About what are the what are the specifics of being one of those organizations that's nominated for that? And then tell me about the 3 organizations that were nominated and why.
great. Well, we actually added this organizational award. It's been a part of Athena International for some time now, but we added this because we have some just incredible women and even male leaders that are pushing the business ecosystem for women. But until we address policies and mental models and hiring practices, we're going to kind of continue to hit roadblocks and glass ceilings. So we really wanted to highlight women organizations that are doing things right for women. And I mean, you're in diversity work, Two Eagles. And so when you increase practices for women or anyone, you're making better practices and policies for all. And so this is only a thing that we can benefit from and create more innovation and retention and all of those things. And so we have 3 organizations in this category. And so Kids Food Basket, I'll start with. So some of the things from their nomination that really spoke to me is they've been really intentional about hiring women and women in leadership, but also making sure their board has representation of not only women, but women of color. And they look at data points to ensure that they're hitting those marks. And that's part of um, their business structure of reviewing those things. They're doing EOS. And so I think that something we can take from them is data tells the story. And so we can very easily say that we're doing the right things and, you know, even feel like we are trying to do the right things, but data tells the story. And so I think they do a really great job with that. Metric structure is new, and they're a newer organization, and a woman owner and CEO, and a number of women in their leadership. And so in the construction industry, that is really kind of just pushing boundaries. And JC talks about how instead of this competitiveness that has been in the construction and typically male dominated space, it is a space of collaboration and group ownership. And so where everyone can put out the ideas and then metric together, you know, has those successes. And that's really drawn some women. And they also have some really interesting HR practices with like unlimited vacation time. And, you know, all the statistics show when you give unlimited vacation time, people actually take less vacation time, but they do the things that are healthy. And, you know, for me, you know, as a parent, you know, not having to take 2 hours off to take my son to his first day of school or start him on a Zoom first day of school, you know, that shows, you know, that'll make me work harder and work longer. Look, we're all professionals. We're going to get our things done. And then Lindo, Mexico, oh, I just cried when I read some of these things on their nomination.
Yeah, hers was really powerful.
They show up big time for their community. And so one of the stories was they're really active in Wyoming. And one of the stories someone shared was, you know, they asked a lot of organizations to come in for their trunk or treat. And Lindo, Mexico is known for not only just like coming and, you know, or giving away a gift card, but they come out big, they'll dress up, and they make it this whole experience. And so Lindo, Mexico not only utilizes, you know, like their food to bring community together, but they show up constantly for the people of their community. And Griselda's an incredible leader, just like JC and Bridget and Afton. You know, our organizational leadership finalists are just really incredible.
Yeah, I want to comment about the unlimited vacation time.
Yeah, let's hear it.
What I'd like to say is if men were responsible for the ones that take kids to wherever it was they need to go, the family first policies would have been something instituted since day one. So, you know, that's just another reason why it's important that we have gender diversity in leadership, because you know, the policies that were created weren't designed to accommodate women in families into business. It's only for, you know, it's designed for men only. But that's important because, you know, I've read those articles too about having the unlimited vacation time, because you need, you know, life doesn't happen on a schedule. Like, I mean, your business does, but regular life doesn't. You know, kids get hurt, or they forgot their lunch, or somebody gets sick and you have to take them to the hospital, or whatever happens. And you need to, you shouldn't have to compromise vacation time with your family or whatever, a day off, because you needed to, you know, or not take them to get the help they needed or whatever it is, if you're the only person they're relying on. And there's so many unique circumstances that it just has to be done right then, and you shouldn't have to jump through a bunch of hoops to make it done. Get it happen. Get it done.
Even for people without kids, you know, like even if you look at bereavement and, you know, it's based around like the Christian 3-day, you go to the visit, the funeral, and you're back. Well, that's not how it is for all cultures. And so if we can create spaces where people can show up for themselves and their family and their community, they're going to be better employees.
Well, they are going to be better employees, but if you aren't doing that, then you are not trying to create a culture where everyone's welcome. If you're only sticking with a monoculturist ideal to set the policy, and that's why the policies are bad, because it's only one perspective that's being looked at. And that's the importance for diversity across gender, race, culture, ability, disability, and everything on and immigrants or whatever, immigrant status or new American status. Like those things all need to come into play.
Absolutely.
So then now we're at the Athena Leadership Awards, and we have Tasha Blackman, President and Chief Executive Officer of Cherry Health, Candace Matthews, Chief Reputation Officer, Amway, Bonnie Nawara, Chief Executive Officer from Grand Rapids Opportunities for Women, Anna Ramirez Sayens, is that pronounced right?
Mhm.
President La Fuente Consulting LLC, Misty Stanton, another amazing person, love Misty, Assistant Vice President, Diversity Inclusion Officer at Mercantile Bank of Michigan. And Tasha is the Athena Award winner, a
Recipient.
recipient. I'm sorry, the recipient. The languages are so confusing for me, but that lineup is a very powerful lineup of leadership award finalists, and that's the only person. Well, actually, I know Tasha, Bonnie, and Misty very well. But Anna and Candace, I haven't been able to spend much time with or talk to them, but I know that their contributions have been significant to their organizations, but as well as the community. So, what else would you like to say about them?
No, I think the thing about that lineup of finalists, and we had so many incredible nominations, so it was so hard. You wouldn't think it takes a whole day to make this decision, and it does, because we have so many people doing incredible things. But I think the thing I love most about this kind of slate of finalists is they're all so different. And I hope if something comes out of this award celebration is that we can see ourselves in at least one of these women.
Mm-hmm.
And, you can be bold and straight to the point and, an absolute gunner, and that's how you succeed. But you also can be a leader that leads from the back, that shows up, that creates safe space for others, and that's also success. And I think all 5 of them just exhibit such different qualities, and it's been really fun. We really focused, and this too, he goes, like, we wanted to really love on all of the finalists this year and not just the recipient, because they're all such badasses. And we delivered finalist gifts, and it was just so fun to be able to see just excitement and to love on these women that are leading at such a difficult time.
Where are the pictures of these?
Oh, you can find those on our Athena Grand Rapids Facebook.
I expect you to send it to me. You expect me to go dig around your Facebook all the time?
I'll send those to you. So Independent Bank actually sponsored our Pochi. They're beautiful. It's Paola owns this organization called Pochi, and they have different custom gifts that are beautiful.
Uh-huh.
And then a number of the past Athenas wrote handwritten letters to the finalists. And what a gift. I mean, can you imagine like getting a handwritten letter from, just some of these incredible women.
No, but that's amazing. It reminds me of the President's book. You should have a Athena book that has every Athena winner writes their message into it so that they can look through from the years.
It's incredible. That's a good idea. I'm going to take that.
Yeah, that's those are little things you don't think about, but starting now, just how cool would it be to like do this and then publish, like take a picture and publish the handwritten letters like for everyone to see in their handwriting. I think that would be really amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So next up, we have the Athena Young Professional Leadership Award finalists. So there is no choosing, or they're all winners, or how does that work?
So we will announce the recipients to the Young Athena and the Organizational Athena at the event.
Okay.
So it's a reason to tune in, because
for the big reveal.
It'll be exciting and emotional and all of the things.
So Brandy Arnold, Program Manager at West Michigan Center for Arts and Technology, Elise Cutt, Founder and Photographer at Mod Betty, Ashley Renee Lee, Vice President of Strategic Communications of Grand Rapids Community Foundation, Ashley Ward, Founder and Chief Executive Officer at Hire for Hope, Shannon Wilson, Director of Medicaid Outreach and Quality Priority Health. I do know 4 of those women, and there's not a woman on any of these lists of any level that there's not something good to say about them and what they've been doing. But Ashley Ward, I want to speak about her for a minute. She's a friend of mine from a long time ago, and it's really for her to be as transparent and as what, and she's, you know, she told her story in the pages of our magazine 3 or 4 years ago, and what she's been through and what she's done in response to it, and how that's an example of somebody finding their power in something that was very traumatic and very negative, and for her to use that to empower herself but also help other women with the donations that she makes monthly to Safe Haven and the her activity with that group. She's something else. It's really something to speak of.
Yeah, and I think it's been I think this is the best part of my job. I get to know these women that I've looked up to for so long. Or if I didn't know them, to be able to get to know their story.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's the discovery. Let's love that.
I think the thing I would love to speak to with this Young Athena docket is they're all fierce advocates, which is one of the Athena principles. And I think that we all can learn something from these young professionals, that we have a voice and we need to use it, and the time is now. And to be brave and courageous to speak your truth, because that creates spaces for others. And I think each one of these, whether it's Mont Betty and Elise with this body positivity, or Ashley Lee and her, she like unapologetically, talks about race and ethnicity and equity. And I think that we all can learn something from that. And the kind of video segment, it was just inspiring. I wanted to just go, I don't know, just be better and make our community better after seeing it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much to know about people, and their role at an organization doesn't tell the whole story. So it's through these awards and through these articles that we do where we're able to, figure out or to find out more about people. And it's just like, wow, I never knew this about this person. I love it. That's one of the great things about the magazine, is that we get to have an excuse to get the full story from someone, or even find out stuff that I never thought of or knew of, but then bring it to the community. I love that.
It's so much more than the resume. And I think that's what we're getting to. Like, it's not just about like their titles. It is about like what made them who they are, and whether I'm, a stay-at-home parent or wherever I'm at in my life, I can make a difference.
Beyond the bios. That's why it's called Beyond the Bios.
Beyond the bios, right?
I love that. I love that title. I mean, I think you could just go with that theme every year, but
absolutely.
So, now, will you go over the Athena principles real quick, because we didn't talk about that?
Oh yes. Oh, now you're quizzing me. I should have had them pulled up. So collaboration, courageous acts, fierce advocacy, celebration and joy, learning, giving back, and I'm forgetting one. That's what we got.
How can you live up to Athena principles if you don't know what they are?
I know. I think I'm not great on the spot. I think I nailed all of them.
Okay, I'm Googling it so I can find the last one.
Authentic self.
Yeah, there you go. You beat the clock. I'm the human Googler, so you beat the human.
Quite nervous interviewing. So there you go. I was showing my authentic self, me freezing up.
Yeah, the authentic self is not everyone is, has their stories down pat, and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Now I heard that the conference. So when is the ceremony?
So it is this Thursday from 4 to 5 p.m. It's a virtual event, and we have a lot of really interesting components in there that will provide both an interactive and an inspirational event. And this event is for any gender. And so I think that it's just important to speak into this space It is not women's job to create a better ecosystem for women. It is all of our jobs. And so I really hope that in this time where everyone's wondering how they can make a difference, that they sign up and learn the tools and support the women and women businesses that we're uplifting during this time.
Yeah, a lot. I think that people have an impression that if something is like the Women's Business Awards or Athena Awards for women, that means that men aren't included. But that's not it. Like, that it's important for the men to be there to see this and to like realize like we're all in this together. But this just happens to focus on an area that needs its own attention right now. But we all need to be a part of it in order to make things better for everyone and understand the impact that it's having. So I heard that there's this amazing gift box for people that do attend or to sign up and get tickets, but and I was supposed to get one, but nobody brought me one, and
We could,
I don't know where that is.
so the pickup is tomorrow for
Oh,
those.
okay. I
You
thought I
should
missed it this weekend.
know. So Tuesday, tomorrow, I'm not going to tell you the space because you have to register.
Okay.
You can go ahead and pick it up. Two Eagles, I would be happy to deliver it to you though.
Actually, you know what? I'm in a conference like all day tomorrow and the next day, so yeah, I'll take that.
Although I do, seeing you in the rain during the PPE was like one of my highlights.
I
You know,
love that. That was amazing. I was like the dance and everything you did. I felt
I
really.
was soaked. Yeah, it was
That
fun.
picture is a good one too. That's a classic.
Good fun.
When I edit the video, I'm gonna include that picture in a flash frame. Now, okay. So the
So,
gift box. Can you tell
yeah.
me what company put together the gift box, and what are the products in the gift box?
Yeah, so we were really intentional in curating this gift box. We not only wanted to use women or businesses that are women owned or women led, but we really wanted to make sure we were spending our dollars with women of color. And so um, by buying this ticket, you get this gift box. So you are helping to put a ton of money into our local economy. So Pack Elephant is the one that curates these gift boxes, and they do this for corporate giving. And it's all local makers, and you get a maker card with their story. And it is mostly women, but they do have some male makers and male businesses, but we really wanted to focus in on women.
Mm-hmm.
And then within there, you'll have a Koki hand sanitizer. And I know some of us have been using some of that like water hand sanitizer. So you're just gonna love, your hands are gonna love some Koki hand sanitizer. It's super high quality. And Nirvana has a whole gamut of skincare products for both men and women or any gender. And then we have in there Male Amaya custom made the Athena Power Booster Shot.
I love that branded juice.
I know. And, Jermale Eddy is definitely the face of Athena, but we all know that there's a woman behind the scenes at Anissa Eddy. And so we thought that that was still very appropriate. We kind of wanted to do like a health and fun theme within this box. And then we have in there In Booze, which is a woman-owned business out of Wyoming, Michigan. And you have curated cocktail kits.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
Yeah, and so you'll be able to make multiple I think we went with the sangria, multiple sangrias with this cocktail kit. And another reason we did this, we wanted to have kind of a festive, fun toast, which we'll have, but also this comes without the alcohol. And so for the people that don't drink and love a great mocktail,
Mm-hmm.
it's also a great opportunity to have something fun as well. And then we have some beautiful masks by Gala Getza. And am I saying that right?
I don't know. I don't have her name, and I haven't heard of her before.
From Gala Getza. I got to get this down as I unbox on Thursday. And actually, so she is a woman-owned business that handcrafts different traditional Mexican wear. And this is one of my first masks I got that I love. And so we wanted to highlight and share those. They're absolutely beautiful. And then in the box, you will also have a women's lifestyle magazine,
Oh, hooray. What a treat for everyone.
which is better than just like a typical, agenda of the event.
Yeah.
'Cause we're also really big into those. So.
Well, it has all the stories of everyone so that we can dig deeper and get more connected. And that's really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, how do people get tickets and how do they get the gift boxes? Is that part of the regular ticket or is it a separate ticket?
Yeah. So, well, we have three up to 300 gift boxes. So you'll need to register soon if you want to make sure you get in at that
Mhm.
300 mark. You can go to grandrapids.org and register for the event. Thanks to Independent Bank, they've sponsored a young professional promo code. So young professionals get 50% off. We want to make sure that we're creating access. And that code is capital I, independent, capital YP. So independent YP and the I, Y, and P are capitalized. If you need help registering, please feel free to email me, mel@grandrapids.org. And I just also wanted to include, we'll have some information about how ATHENA has been really, and the Chamber have been really intentional about our spend and making impact for women, not just by words and bringing them together. Our Chamber staff has really worked hard in making sure that we are making impact in a variety of different ways. And then those would be some tips on how you and your organization can be better for women, which I think is really important when we think about long impact.
Yeah, that's really, really cool because it's a really great opportunity to get information in people's hands and bring more attention to the things the problems that need to be solved and why it makes a difference and how you can make a difference. It's great. Is there anything else that you want to tell me about the event or the organization or how people can participate with Athena, the other opportunities?
Yeah, so please, you can follow Athena Grand Rapids on Facebook if you have social media. And, we have a variety of ways that we work to uplift and connect women. Even in our 2021 docket, we are going to have some incredible things. Our virtual events have been really successful. But for when we can meet in person, we have some fun ways to both learn and connect and be better. As always, I would just like to share that this is a fight for all genders. And so I really hope that different people show up in big ways. And one of the things that some people are doing, I'm not promoting as a chamber employee, but our watch parties. So getting together and watching it together. And so that might be a fun way to kind of incorporate, you're using your box items and in booze and safely watching the event.
Right. Yeah, those are things too that like people don't think about. Like what is the opportunity for connection when these things are happening? Like some people are okay with getting together. So if your group wants to get together, it's a fun thing to think of. But a lot of times they don't think about it. But that's something we need to do in our promo materials too. Like here are ways to celebrate this at a distance, like with your team or your people. Make a little party out of it.
Absolutely. And I think I have to tell you, and I paid for them. I invited and registered like my mom, my aunt. I'm a part of a cross-cultural partnership with Treetops Collective. And so another mentor and mentee are getting together to watch it. And so I think this is going to be an inspiring event for all ages.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I love to hear that. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Mel. It was great talking to you and seeing you. I found out a little bit more about you, so that makes me happy.
Well, thank you too, Eagles. I'll work on my background for next time.
I hope so. Get the front lighting on there too, like a ring light. I can send you some links.
I don't even know what those words mean.
All right. Well, I'm going to get this up ASAP, so I'll shoot you a link when it's ready.
Perfect.
Thanks, Mel. Talk to you soon.
Here he goes. Bye.
Goodbye.